Good afternoon. Welcome to the Digital Weather Desk powered by Century Next Bank. I'm Jared Floyd. Thanks for joining us at lunchtime on this Thursday as folks get ready for a little bit of high school football action tonight and then more tomorrow and college football games, weekend plans, all that good stuff as we get ready for the upcoming weekend. It will have its own twists and turns in the forecast. And with that, we take a look at what's going on the satellite picture this afternoon. Technically afternoon by 4 minutes. Hello, Janet, and thank you so much for joining the Digital Weather Desk. Most of us seeing plenty of sunshine to start the day. Look at the radar, made possible by Brown's Roofing. Not a whole lot out there for the time being, and if you've been kind of following the forecast, it's been about 2 o'clock in the afternoon when we start seeing those storms bubble up. Not to say we'll see them at the exact same time again today, but again, that's just the general rule of thumb. A look at temperatures across the area. We're in the upper end of the 80s to low 90s across the area at this hour. And most locations are aiming for daytime highs to still land in the low to mid 90s. Here locally, 93 already in Camden, 90 in El Dorado, 88 in Monroe, 86 in St. Joseph, 87 in Gina. So again, there are some areas that are a little warmer than others. We're already starting to see the puffy cumulus clouds kind of bubble up. Winds have been fairly light across the region, generally out of the south so far today, generally in the 5 to 10 mile an hour range. Linda, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. Look at the Futurecast made possible by Bayou Power Sports. Again, hunting season right around the corner. Side-by-sides, ATVs, go see them. I-20 Frontage Road, Monroe. And still looking and banking on the potential for a few isolated storms to bubble up across the area this afternoon. In general, tough to forecast where we will see them, and that's pretty much been the case for most of this week. An isolated strong storm can't be ruled out, but overall, it does appear that the rain chances may be a smidge more muted today, kind of like what we saw yesterday, where we did see some bubble-up activity, but most of it was not sustained, and it was quite short-lived. Have a weak front off to our north and west, and that's going to be a weakening front as it starts to develop showers and storms along the boundary late tonight, early tomorrow morning. Most of that will probably weaken before it actually gets into our area. If you joined us for the morning forecast, we kind of took a broader look. Now we're looking a little bit closer. And you can see that by tomorrow afternoon, that leftover trough of low pressure and maybe some outflow from the earlier thunderstorms may help to propel some afternoon storms tomorrow. By tomorrow evening, again, we lose daytime heating, and overall, it looks like we start to see a pretty quick weakening phase of a lot of that shower and storm potential. But that's the reason why rain chances are a smidge higher as we go through the day on Friday. A check of lightning products, and I really just wanted to show that, not because I don't want folks to focus solely on where Futurecast is developing lightning. I looking at the timing of it. If you're heading out and about this evening, by 4 to 6 to 7 p.m., the lightning density is a little bit more increased at that point. By 7 o'clock tonight, 6:30, 7 o'clock tonight for Ouachita Sterlington, doesn't look to be a major concern, but we also can't rule out that one rogue thunderstorm being within 20, 30 miles of the stadium, causing some issues to start the game. Again, I'm not really guaranteeing any delays, but it is a possibility. And the same goes for your games on Friday as well. Most of that activity should go off without a hitch, especially if we continue on a weakening trend with the overall storm potential by tomorrow evening. But it is something that we'll have to watch, unfortunately. Check of the tropical satellite, and as I promised, a very, very wimpy-looking tropical storm, Gabrielle. It's out there. You can follow the cloud swirl associated with the system. That is the tropical storm, quote-unquote. Maximum sustained winds as it stands from the National Hurricane Center right now at 50 miles per hour. The forecast track carries it off to the west-northwest and then eventually the north. And if it can continue to fight off this very strong westerly shear and dry air that has continued to kind of ingest within this storm, if it can hang on through the next few days as it continues to ingest more dry air and continues to battle the shear, there is a possibility it could reach hurricane status by early next week. Again, doesn't look like it's headed anywhere our direction. The only downside would be for the folks in Bermuda. So if for some reason folks in Bermuda or vacationing in Bermuda, that could be an issue. But it also looks like this storm may take a hard right turn or a northerly turn and perhaps miss the island well off to the east. And again, that's all assuming that A, you know somebody in Bermuda, and B, that it even survives that long. Again, it's got a long way to go between now and then. Daytime highs, again, expected to land in the low to mid-90s with the caveat that obviously where you see the rain, you may get stopped at 91, 92. Where you don't see the rain, 95, 96, maybe even hotter is attainable. Nia and Janet, thanks so much for joining us on the Digital Weather Desk powered by Century Next Bank. Lows tonight, upper 60s to near 70. Kind of a ho-hum forecast in terms of the overnight lows, but we could see a few stray showers or storms trickle in tomorrow morning. Rain chances overnight are up to 20% versus we've been running them generally at about 10%. Daytime highs tomorrow, low to mid-90s, so again, quite hot. Could be more low 90s or even the upper 80s as the showers and storms set in across southern Arkansas a little earlier in the day. Magnolia, Camden, El Dorado, Hampton, some of those spots. You folks may be a little bit cooler to start the day, and so just be aware of that. And look at the 7-day forecast as you get ready to plan the upcoming weekend. We talked about it a little bit more this morning. I wanted to focus on the short-term forecast here midday, and we can talk more long-term changes a little bit later on. We did mention them this morning, but obviously the Friday rain chances are best. Weekend, I've actually backed the rain chances down to 10% on Saturday. They very well may go back up to 20%. Held them at 20% for Sunday and Monday, but middle parts of next week, we may try to work a cold front through parts of the region. And with that slow-moving front comes cloud cover, slightly cooler temperatures, and slightly better rain chances. Something to keep an eye on. Ms. Norris, thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully everything is going well. I know schools are in full force and way, so I hope you guys have a great school year. Jan, thanks so much for joining us, and glad you found a way to do what you love while still spending quality time with your family. I tell you what, that is the most special part of all of this, is being able to be here when the time is right to deliver forecasts on a daily basis, so you have that kind of constant presence of weather information, but also when breaking weather happens, to be able to be as quick and as efficient as possible with getting that information to you. I cannot stress how important that is to me. And then, again, trying to find a little bit of work-life balance along the way. And with a teenager and a small one at home, that can sometimes be a challenge. But again, thank you so much for your kind words. I'm very, very glad to be here, and I'm glad that you're here as well. And that sends me right into the fact that the Digital Weather Desk, powered by Century Next Bank, is made possible 100% free to all of you folks, wherever you may be, thanks to these fine local businesses that you see there on your screen. Again, we talk about them throughout the forecasts and let you know what they have going on and how you can support their business, but also, again, they know that they're just investing in the community's safety, and that's the most important thing for us. How can you help at home? Well, it's pretty simple. You're already doing so, just like Debbie and Bonnie hopping in and saying hello. Thank you so much for joining us. Follow us on all your favorite social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, X, Twitch, TikTok, Threads, and YouTube. I have to say that really, really slowly because sometimes I say Twitch Talk and I create a new social media platform, and that doesn't exist. And you can support our business partners when you can, if you can. And if you can't, for whatever reason, just drop them a note and say hello and just thank them for what they're doing, because, again, it is not possible without them. I say this a lot. The weather is the easiest part, but sustaining this day in, day out, that's the tough part. So we appreciate what they're doing. All right, football forecasts. Washita-Sterlington tonight. Boy, it's going to be a packed house in Sterlington. That should be a doozy of a football game. Hoping to get that game through without any headaches in terms of isolated storms. I will be keeping an eye on the radar. So we'll have a look at that forecast a little bit later on this afternoon. We'll keep an eye on Gabrielle. And then we'll start working on the football forecast for tomorrow night. Got plenty of games tomorrow night as well. College games this weekend. It gets busier as the week progresses, folks, and it will get even busier as the rain chances start to trickle back into the forecast as well. Thanks so much for taking time out of your lunch to